is that these are actual collaboratives of employers. And so unlike just having the one employer, and Josh, it was a great example when it's one employer who just says, hey, I want all these things, right? Like, what are you gonna do for me? In Fame, we look at a collaborative, and that's really great because there was a question there around, rural and urban, et cetera. But you can bring together really small employers and really big employers, and they all get the same level of training for an agreed upon role, in this case, these skilled technicians. That opens up some really new opportunities, and that does change the dynamic a little bit of kind of who's getting what. And in that sense, definitely thinking about how do we offset some of those wages for the employer who's paying those wages for those individuals, because they are hired day one in this case. So in Fame, they're also employees on day one. We think about the startup costs for these things, and the technical training centers that are necessary for this, the instructor pay, and how important that is to make sure you have qualified instructors in these programs, mentors that are indirect costs, if you will, for the employers. Ways to offset some of those things to make when we have a proven program that has proven outcomes of success. I think that's some of the things we look at. All in though, broken wheel on my part is the responsiveness to employer needs. One of the things that we've talked about, several points that have come up in this conversation, I will frame differently and point out that employers have no concern with the invisible lines that are political subdivisions, that are service areas, that are taxing districts, that are state lines. None of those things matter when you need talent. So employers are a little agnostic to some of those things and don't want to be constricted by what is another organization's constricting factors that really don't affect them and their actual needs. I think that's a really important piece. We think about how responsive are our systems, our colleges, our WO boards, et cetera, to the needs of those employers. And then that just kind of leads to how do we make this smoother transition, this smoother connection, I would say, between training and employment. And it can't just be this like, here's what we're training on. Good luck, employers, take what you want from this thing. And back to Josh's point, it can't just be an employer saying, I'm describing this unicorn, somebody come do this for me, right? Somewhere in the middle is where the happy place is, but it has to have that voice, the employer there, or we will not get to the happy place.